Hello, everybody. Green Effect Podcast, Season 3, Episode 24. Let's get going. A few things we talk about today. First of all, a bit of a recap of my last week. I had a week off, enjoyed it. Let's talk about what happened. I'm going to talk about a guest that's coming on. Okay, so not this episode, but very soon. Justin Trudeau, I like how I said that. Justin Trudeau, my buddy named JT, having a rough week, man. I'm hoping he's getting people ain't liking him too much. We talk about that. Unemployment numbers are out. Yeah, good news, bad news. Little good news, a lot of bad news. Talk about that. Talk about the rates, what's happening there. Bank of Canada, all right, prediction for this week. This podcast is being released before the Bank of Canada announcement. And Thread Me, baby. Let's talk about threads. Hey, could that be a song right there? Let's talk about threads, baby. Let's talk about you. No. All right, I'm stopping there. Let's get on with the damn show.
Welcome to the Green Effect Podcast. Finance, life, business, and everything in between. And now, your host, Stephen Green.
Hello, everybody. Season 3, Episode 24, the Green Effect Podcast is in the house. All right, so I had a week off last week. Canada Day long weekend. Thank goodness. I won't lie. It was nice. It was quiet. Got some stuff done around the house. Saw some friends. But honestly, man, I did not do much over the Canada Day long weekend. Needed a break. You know, like I started this business back in January. You know, it's been a 6-month grind. And I needed a break. So I'm glad I got a break. I hope everyone else got a break too, and everyone stayed, you know, the old COVID term. I hope everyone stayed safe and healthy. If you guys remember that. Every time during COVID you talked to somebody or you signed off on an email, hope you're safe and healthy. Oh, brings back memories. I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it. Anyway, so before we get into the meat and potatoes of the podcast, just so you know, we are going to have a guest on. So, you know, this podcast, I really haven't had a guest on, to be honest with you. It is a lot of, we'll say, work, which obviously goes without saying, but it's a lot of work to coordinate a guest and timing and stuff. So really what I've been doing is I've been coming on here, giving some great news and updates to people, letting people know what's been going on, but I haven't taken the time to have a guest. So I will be having a guest on probably the next few weeks or so. So look for that. And if it goes well, not from a guest perspective, like based on what she's going to say, but if I can fit the timing in, I'll have more guests on. Because back in the day, like when I started this thing back in 2018, 5 years ago, good God, that's scary to even say. That's all I had was guests. I had the mayors, I had Olympians, I had lawyers and business people, and you name it, right? We had all sorts of people on. So we'll see how it all goes. But I think by and large, if I can add a guest and I've got the time, we're going to do it. So look for that in the next few weeks. Okay, let's get into what the hell's going on in this country right now. And you know, I'm mid-40s, and like I said, I've said this before, I've never been around for a world war, so I know things can be a hell of a lot worse. I get it. But in my generation, I'm Gen X, I've never seen things this bad, okay? And let me talk about what's been going on now lately to just further fuel this fire. First of all, is it just me, or are people just really taking liberties with, like, insulting Justin Trudeau? Like, I don't know if just the loudest person is getting the attention, but people don't really like him very much right now. The stuff I'm seeing, because he's out and about right now at the Calgary Stampede, and he visited a family. Oh gosh, it was somewhere in Ontario. I don't know where it was, but it was around the GTA. And the people that showed up just to slam this guy was incredible. And I just think people have had it. I think people have lost trust. I think people don't even know what to think about these politicians. They're all just kind of a bunch of crazy people. And I'm just noticing, like, people just genuinely don't like this guy. And you know what? I'm with him. Man, all you got to do is just Google an interview with Christina Freeland, okay, the Disney Plus lady, okay, just to understand how like fucked up this is, okay. JT hasn't got a clue what's going on. She couldn't answer a question to save her life. Like, it's just messed up. Anyway, so one thing that just came out this past, and I've had it on my screen here now. Of course, I've lost it. Unemployment numbers came out. You want to talk about good news, but not really good news, okay? So, yeah, the unemployment numbers, sorry, I keep having this on my screen and it goes away somewhere. So, unemployment numbers did rise. This is what the government needs. They need unemployment to increase. We need less people with jobs. Because if they don't have jobs, they can't spend money and increase inflation. I wonder if someone called, maybe Tiffy Boy can call JT and say, hey buddy, just FYI, the more money you spend, the more inflationary things are. Just FYI, maybe explain that to him. Anyway, unemployment did climb again. However, the economy added 60,000 jobs. Folks, when you have immigration at levels that we have it, this is the kind of ass backward metrics that come out of the woodwork, okay? Increased unemployment, and we added 60,000 jobs. So the increase in the unemployment, fantastic. That's what Bank of Canada wants to see. But 60,000 jobs was a hell of a lot of jobs they were not expecting, okay? So what does this mean? Well, it's very, very simple. I'm sorry to burst everybody's bubble. This recording is being done July 9th, which is a few days before the Bank of Canada announcement. Mark my words, they're going to jack up prime again. They have to. They have to. Okay? Which is kind of a really shitty thing, because part of the reason why inflation is where it is, other than Galen and company charging $20 for a bloody block of butter, is as they increase the prime rate, they're also increasing the housing costs. And big part of the inflation increasing is the shelter costs for Canadians. So honestly, they're damned if they do, damned if they don't. It really doesn't matter. They could jack that thing up 0.5%. It's not going to matter. They could stay pat. It's not going to matter. I'll be honest with you. It's not the Bank of Canada. Again, I can't believe I'm defending Tiffy Boy, but now it's not their fault. It was their fault a few years ago, and it was their fault for the last 3 years. But right now, they're not going to win this until the Liberal government stops spending money that they do not have. We are going to be in this pickle. Plus the record immigration, plus the issue with houses being sold. The list goes on. Okay, so anyway, coming back to it, unemployment did increase, but we also had way too many people gaining jobs, probably because of all the record immigration that we have, and it's probably going to lead to a prime rate increase. If this podcast is upsetting you, welcome to my world as a mortgage agent, all right? Because this is the crap that's just going to keep going on, right? So, and then of course you couple that, just again, I'll use this term, I've marked my podcast explicit, I can say what I want, but just to continue on with the shit show at the fuck factory right now, fixed rates are going through the roof. Like, all the fixed rates are up. Just to paint a bit of a picture, I locked in one of my variable rate mortgages end of May. 4-year fixed, I think it was. It was like 4.94 or something like that. And I'm like, man, that's high. Dude, 4-year fixed right now is like high fives. I think, something like that. Like, It's gone up a lot. 3-year, I locked into a 3-year, I think at 484 about 2 months ago. 3 years are all high fives, low sixes. Like, it's insane right now. So we're seeing a lot of fixed rates increase. And again, it is mainly because of the bond prices that are moving because they're pricing in a recession more aggressively. Okay. So again, if you want to totally nerd out on mortgages, all you need to do is Google Canada 5-year government bond just to get a sense of where the bond prices are going. You want to know, don't ask me, you want to know if fixed rates are going up? Google that number. If that number is going up, fixed rates are going with it. Okay. We've seen a steep increase in fixed rate mortgages. Okay. The market has been very busy in July, really, really busy with closings because a lot of people who have their rates locked a month or two ago are buying houses. And I've noticed the last week or so, everything's like, can I close in 3 weeks? Can I close in a month? Can I close quick? Everything's a quick close. The only thing right now that's not a quick close is switches, right? Because when we do a switch, we wait for the maturity date. But that's what we're seeing. By and large, it's insane. Like, higher fixed rates, people rushing to buy. That's really what we're seeing in the market right now. Okay. It'll be interesting to see how things progress because I think as fixed rates increase in particular, because people want fixed rate now. They don't want the risk of the variable. They want fixed rates. So we're going to most likely see a lot of people, if they can buy, they're going to buy. Because if people are going to get priced out of the market again, guess what? They need to rent. And rent is bloody expensive. So, and we have no homes to buy. And you can just see where this whole downward spiral is going to go. It's funny, I was talking to a mortgage agent buddy of mine, and the way things are going right now, it's like, things are going to happen, but it's almost like we're watching this show in slow motion. Can we just rip off the Band-Aid and just get this done? If things are going to get worse, can we just get worse now? Like, just have it done with, right? Now, I will say this, and this is really, really important. I'm posting stats this week that are going to show that house prices are actually increasing, which makes sense. I'm going to say this to everybody. If you're wondering whether or not you should buy or not, the answer is, if it makes sense and you can afford it, buy a freaking home. Get it done. Okay? It is not right for people to sit there and say, oh, don't buy. I can tell you right now, I got clients who have been waiting 10 years for the market to crash. Still hasn't crashed. Okay? We've had downward pressure on prices, 100%, but we haven't seen a really true crash. Okay? I tell all my clients this. If you can afford it, if it makes sense, buy a damn home. Don't waver on this. Okay? If you got well, I'm not sure, if you're wondering, maybe not, then you're never going to buy a house. Never going to buy a house. So if you can buy a house, buy one. I'm telling you, it's probably one of the best things you'll ever do, but we'll definitely see what happens. It'll be interesting, that's for sure. All right, last but not least, who has lost time in their lives they will never get back to the new app called Threads? This is going to be interesting because here's the dealio. For those of you who don't know, actually, let me back up. So in social media world, we have so many little things. We have Facebook. Apparently, if you're 40 years old or older, there's Facebook. Okay. There is Twitter, which I'll be honest with you, not a lot of, unless they're going there for news like I do, there's not a whole ton of Canadians who are on Twitter. I know in the real estate world in my area, like you ask friends or family or whatever Twitter, and they're like, we don't really use that at all. Okay. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram is the big Canadian thing. Okay. Instagram is humongous, obviously. Then you got your LinkedIn and your different stuff like that. Okay. So Instagram, what they've now come out with is basically the Twitter competitor. Okay, so for those of you who are on Twitter or who follow this, Elon Musk owns Twitter. He's a bit of a crazy person. Let's just call it what it is. Now, rich as anything, but he's the one that owns Twitter, laying off people, making up rules as he goes, whatever. Okay, so what Threads is basically the equivalent of a simplified Twitter for now, made by Meta, that owns Facebook and Instagram. And basically, it's so seamless, it's disgusting. And by the way, my window is open in my office, so if you hear someone's weed trimmer going, that's what that is. So you could basically go on there, sign up for Threads. It automatically, just to make your life so easy, it just transfers your data from Instagram to Threads. All of your friends are on there. And as your friends on Instagram sign up for Threads, they like your profile on Threads. Because why not? So, this could be very big in Canada, where people are not big Twitter people, but why not connect my Instagram to another chat platform, and I can, I don't know what the hell you call it, thread it out? Hey, I'm going to send a thread about that, because I don't have enough freaking acronyms and shit I got to use, but, I'm going to thread that out, and it's basically like Twitter. So, I'll be honest with you, I signed up a few days ago. I'm kind of bored with it already. Like, I'm 3 days in, and I'm kind of bored. I'll be honest with you. I have so much freaking content that I need to put out to begin with. You know what I kind of don't need? Another goddamn platform. So, I don't know if you've noticed, but I haven't posted a TikTok video in months. I'm out of time, man. I don't have... If I had a 28-hour day, hey, I got time, baby. Let's post more content that God knows who the hell watches or listens to. But I don't know. We're going to see how this goes. Maybe it's because not everybody is on there. My buffer or my litmus test for stuff is usually my 20-year-old daughter. Shout out to Emily. I'm pretty sure she doesn't listen to this because I asked her one time about downloading podcasts and she looked at me like I had 3 heads, but I usually test things with her. So I asked her the other day, and by the way, she is on Instagram all the fucking time. Like, I mean, she's on there always, okay? Instagram master, okay? I'm like, Em, you on this Threads thing, babe? What's going on? She's like, what? So that generation hasn't quite started yet. So let's wait and see what happens. Because us old fogies in our mid-40s, us Gen Xers, we jump on this stuff because we're so excited about it, but let's just see what happens with Threads. So if you don't follow me on Threads, I don't know what the hell my handle is, to be honest with you, but follow me on Instagram and you can find my Threads ID in my profile. So Instagram is SG Mortgage Advice, and then you can just find me there if you care to. But honestly, I don't know, I'm kind of bored with it already. I got too much shit going on, man. Anyway, thread me, baby. Thread me. There you go. Hit me up on Threads, yo. All right, that's enough. Now when I start to attempt to rap out my content, I run out of shit to talk about. All right, let's end it there. Take care, everybody. I'm here if you need me. Hit me up. Talk to you soon.
Thank you for listening to the Green Effect Podcast. Subscribe to this podcast on iTunes or Google Play so you catch the next episode. And don't forget to leave a review. Much appreciated.